Happy Monday! How is it going, everyone? It is a beautiful Monday today, and it's good to see you, Comrade Sammy. It's just you and me right now, but that's okay. You got the first one in the chat, clocked it in. You can just sit back and relax now. No more pressure. Hope you had a good weekend. I had a pretty good weekend. It was pretty busy, but I was able to read some comics, some good comics this weekend. I caught up on. I have stacks and stacks of comics, as you can imagine, of stuff that I'm borrowing from the library, the stuff that I'm buying from the store, and just stuff that I haven't read. I mean, I think I can do a whole stream on all the comic books that I haven't read yet. So it was good to have a little bit of a breather this weekend. Either I will sit down and watch a movie or watch some sort of sports event going on or read comics. And depending on when I do it in the time of day will affect how that moment ends, whether I'm asleep on the couch or I'm reading the next one or watching the next movie or whatever. So depending on how tired I am when I start, that's when the effects of me going to sleep. There was one. I started watching the movie Wonka with my daughter this weekend, and I was pretty excited to see it just because I had heard good reviews, and I really liked Timothy Chalamet, from the Dune movies. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And we sat down and started watching it. And I fell asleep probably within the first 20 minutes. And then I woke up right on the last scene in the end credits. So that wasn't a good sign. I think I was just tired. And also, the movie didn't grab me as much as I was hoping it would. So anyway, that's kind of the life I live on the weekends of trying to catch up on things that I want to catch up on, whether that's entertainment or reading, and how tired I am. That combo. And what's the weather too outside, which right now it's a beautiful, beautiful day. Got to go and take a walk in the zoo. I don't live too far from the local zoo here, so I got to take a walk in the zoo with Marty, actually, my friend Marty. We went and took a walk. And yeah, that was good. It was good to get out, smell the fresh air, and stretch my legs a little bit, get away from the computer, and spend some time just chatting and being outside. And then there was one, no pressure. You're just going to have to chat more, and then this will be fine. But if you don't say anything, then this gets awkward. No, I'm just kidding. I can fill up the space. But it's funny because I was actually last night, I was taking a look at the week, and I love to assess on the weekends what my week is about to look like. In particular, like YouTube and what I'm doing here on YouTube, how it's working and all that. And I had mentioned last week, like I was experimenting with some more YouTube shorts, and those were getting really great returns. So it just confirmed to me that, like, okay, you got to just keep posting these, if anything, just to get more eyes on this channel and get more people who might be interested in the content that I'm producing to be exposed to my channel. Funny story, that early this morning I got a text from one of my old coworkers, and he said, "Hey, have you watched?" He knows I'm doing this YouTube thing, and he said, "Hey, have you watched this video?" And the video he sent me was, let me look at the thumbnail really quick. The video he sent me was, it says, the title was "Marvel's rejected this couple, so they revolutionized the comic industry." And the title on the thumbnail is Marvel's Big Mistake. And I had seen this thumbnail appear in my feed like multiple times. I didn't click on it for whatever reason. Like, I knew, I was like, maybe I should watch that, but I never got around to watching it. But it was funny that he sent it to me because I had been seeing it on my feed constantly. And come to find out, it's about Wendy and Richard Pini, who are the creators of ElfQuest, which was a series that I read when I was much younger. So I was like, oh, it's about them? Like, it wasn't clear in the thumbnail that it was about them. So I was like, I got to watch it now. But I was laughing, and when I was texting him back, I was like, I've been seeing this thumbnail in my feed for quite a while now, and it's funny that you're seeing it. I said, it's just like this thumbnail that I saw about Todd McFarlane, and I sent it to him. He was like, oh, I saw that same thumbnail too. So we're basically getting, the algorithm is working where it's getting the same kind of content in front of us. So that I'm just assuming with the stuff I'm producing and like all the different avenues of content that I'm producing, I'm just assuming that hopefully it can get in that algorithm where it gets in front of the right people. That's the whole point. So that's definitely one of the things that I want to focus on with YouTube Shorts. Comrade Sammy, you're saying, I'm not good at making conversation, Rocky. Sure you are. Sure you are. And if John shows up, then the conversation will flow even more. But of course you're good at making conversation. I need John. Hard being partners in crime when it's just me here. Try streaming with just one person here. That's okay. It's all good. We'll make it work out. So yeah, this weekend. So I was looking at just the different forms of content that I produce, and what I should focus on, what's working, what's not working. Maybe I should tweak something. And I was looking at the past, it was like 2 or 3 months. I noticed that I think, let me see, this maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 Mondays I did an unboxing video. For whatever reason, it landed on Mondays. So that seems like, that might be a good like space for unboxings to live. And sure enough, this weekend I got something. So that's part of the reason why I'm doing this stream right now, is because I got something. I want to open it up here. I think I know what it is, which is always the case, right? Like I have an inkling of what these things that I'm unboxing are. And if I am correct about what this is, then that means it tied together with the stream that I did with Marty last week really well. So yeah, that's a big reason why I decided to stream right now, is because 1, I want to open this package. It's an excuse to open this package. And 2, I think it connects with what Marty and I were talking about last week. All right. So let's see. What else? What I was thinking? Oh, okay. So and then this weekend, yeah, it seems like I don't know how it is with. Yes. It is a comic book. It better be. Otherwise, I'm opening it up like a self-help book or something. No, I'm pretty sure it's a comic book. One thing I was going to ask the chat, and in this case, you, Comrade Sammy, is the content that you watch on YouTube, like regular content that you watch, is there a schedule that it follows, or is it just randomly when they appear? I've heard varying different theories on what works best. Obviously, it's nice to have a schedule if you can keep up a schedule, or you have the kind of content that works well with a schedule. But also, there's the opposite side of the spectrum where people are like, it really doesn't matter because YouTube is kind of on-demand content. People are watching it for live stuff. Yeah, it would be nice to know if there's a schedule for live stuff, but for recorded stuff, it's really when people watch it. They watch it whenever they are sitting down watching content. So it really doesn't really matter, the schedule. So I wasn't sure. I'm kind of a schedule kind of guy, but at the same time, some of my content is randomly dependent on things happening. So for example, if I don't get anything in the mail, I can't do an unboxing video. So I can't say, oh, I'm always going to unbox on Mondays. Or if I did get something every time to unbox on a Monday, that would be bad because that means I'm spending too much money. Or if I, for whatever reason, can't make it to the comic book store on Wednesdays, which I think I've been pretty consistent about for the last few months. But if I can't for whatever reason, then I couldn't do that video. What do I do? Blah blah blah. So yeah, it's. I just wanted to know what works for people, what people think. Not sure. I don't really consistently watch any channels really. Oh, okay. So yeah, it's just it really doesn't matter almost. It's just like what grabs your attention at any given moment, and are you interested in sitting down and watching it? So I think I had mentioned this. There was one stream I was watching, this couple, Tom Buck and Heather Ramirez, and I was asking them like, what's your opinion on this and blah blah blah, and they're like, oh well, you could do this and this and this, and at the end I concluded, I was like, so basically YouTube is just random, and they were like laughing. They're like, yeah, it kind of is. And then I asked them another question, and they're like, well, you could do this and this and this, but it can be also like this and this. And then at the end I said, so basically you're telling me that it's random. That's kind of how it feels like with YouTube, just this big random mishmash of content. So what do you think, Comrade Sammy? I think we should just get going, right? We should just open this up and like not wait. We don't need to wait for anybody. Comrade Sammy says, I think as a small channel though, consistency would be key to help your channel grow. True. Yep. And I've heard that as well. And I've tried to stick with that as best as I can. So I agree with that. I think like once in a blue moon is really hard to get any momentum. But if you are at least producing something and putting something out there on a consistent basis, then people start realizing like, oh, this person's really active and I like what they're putting out there. And I think YouTube Shorts for me helps fill in some of those gaps that I can't. Like if I can't produce a live stream or edited video, it helps fill in those gaps. So good point. I did get a good amount of amount of new subscribers this past week, so that's nice. I always assess on Monday mornings like where I'm at, and it was good to see a little bit of a bump over last week. So we're doing it. All right, let's get to it. Let's find out what is this thing here. All right, here we go. So I remember I always need to do this, especially for times like this. Is this the right one? Maybe this. This music. Sure, why not? Helps with the dead spaces. All right. Did you ever finish those Sherlock Holmes books that you had, Comrade Sammy? Wow, I almost cut the book. Good thing I was. All right, here we go. The Dick Tracy movie adaptation. Have you ever seen this? This is okay, here we go. The only thing about shorts is that if they get more attention than your regular videos, won't you have a harder time drawing people to your full-length videos? That is a really good question. I mean, I'm not even 100% sure how shorts works. I was asking people last time, if you remember, like, are you guys getting notifications on this? And people weren't. So, you know, how it works in the feed, I'm not 100% sure. I will say this though, the more that I get viewers on some of these shorts videos, the more probability is that some of them will turn into subscribers. Now, whether that's they're subscribing because they like the shorts content or they're subscribing because they click on my profile from the YouTube short and then look at the channel and say, oh, I do like this content, I want to subscribe to it. So consistently, I'd say, like, if I get a short that has several hundred to thousands of viewers, more than likely I'll get 1 or 2 subscribers for that in that particular short. And the way that YouTube gives information on the data of the content that you produce, they'll tell you how many subscribers happened or when your subscribers subscribe. So whether that's they're watching a long form video or a short form video, they'll tell you when that is. So yeah, I mean, you'd like to think that if people are into the short form content you're producing, they will like the other content you're producing. I don't know. I hope so. But yeah, that's a good question. I haven't finished them yet. Maybe I should. You should. Okay, so part of the reason, this is what I was expecting was in the mail, and why I bring this up, that this related to last week's stream with Marty, was because the artist on this is Kyle Baker. Where does it say that? I know he's here. Oh, there, yeah, Kyle Baker. So he illustrated, lettered, and colored it. Yo! Awesome one. Now it's a party. First, it was like an intimate discussion between Comrade Sammy and myself. But now that you're here, it's a party. Welcome. I just opened up this guy. Let me turn this down a little bit. It feels like a little loud. A Monday, Wednesday stream. I was just talking to Comrade Sammy about this. I feel like I've done maybe like 4 or 5 unboxing videos, and they that have happened to land on Mondays. So I don't know if it's because I get packages on the weekend or I hold off on it, but it seems like Monday is a good day to kind of start off the week with something on unboxing. But if I do have to unbox something, if I do have something to unbox every Monday, I was telling Comrade Sammy that's a bad sign, because that means I'm ordering too much. I'm buying too much stuff. So, hey, Tammy D is here. What's up? How you doing? Welcome, Tammy. No more pressure on Sammy. We got a Sammy and a Tammy. And then Mark's Music Obsession. All right. The crowd's shuffling in. You guys all get tardies. No, I'm just kidding. Smack that like. Thank you so much, Tammy. I appreciate that. How are you guys all doing? You missed the exciting cutting of the package open, but I haven't even started flipping through this book, and so we'll get into it. But I'm so glad to see you all. Thanks for joining. So part of the interesting thing that this actually arrived at, I mean, full disclosure, when I was thinking about doing the book King David on that episode of Comics Yeah, Comics Now with Marty, and it made me start thinking about the artist Kyle Baker, I did remember this series, and I was like, oh yeah, didn't he adapt Dick Tracy? And I don't have the series, or at least I had a couple issues, but I don't have them here. So I was like, maybe I can find the compilation. And so I found it and ordered it, and then but now it arrived like right after that stream I did with Marty. So it's kind of timely, but I really love this movie, Dick Tracy, the Warren Beatty film. I think out of all the comic book movies that came out during that time period, this was pre-Marvel's huge boom. This one was one of the most unique ones. Like, I loved the original Batman movies, but this one I just felt like was a totally different animal, and I loved the interpretation of it for the movie. So when they decided to do a film adaptation, I was like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of comics that do film adaptations. I never think they're really done that well. They never live up to the film themselves. But this one in particular, because Kyle Baker did it, was like, oh, okay, this could be really cool. Tammy says, I don't feel tardy. That's okay. You're not tardy. Now we need a mammy. We got a Sammy, a Tammy. Now we need a mammy. Hello. Oh my gosh. Awesome one. Something tells me that you used to be into like or maybe you still are. You're into like musical theater or something. You've got a lot of quotes that come from musical theater, which I love. So you're hilarious. Gotta love YouTube. No notification. What? YouTube? Jerks. I was watching some end time stuff. Okay. On YouTube? That sounds really uplifting and exciting for a Monday. With Madonna. Nice. All right. Oh yeah, this one when I ordered it, they were saying, "Oh, it comes with this ticket that came from McDonald's," which I was like, "Okay." Like a scratcher ticket. I don't know what this is for. I'm sure it's not good anymore. 1 prize per card. Oh, some of it was rubbed off. I don't know why they would include this. I think they were just trying to entice people who are collectors, but whatever. I'll use it as a bookmark. All right, so Dick Tracy, let's take a look at this. I actually have a couple of videos called up for Dick Tracy. Actually, let's watch those now. Let's do that first before my... Oh my goodness. Also, amazing quote. It's live now. Thank you, awesome one, for that notification. Okay. Wait, okay, so I have, let me stop this. Let me stop the audio. I have a couple of clips. Hopefully it's okay to play these. I'm always not sure about the getting struck thing, guys, but I have a couple clips from the movie that I found online on YouTube. They're just clips of the movie, but if you guys have not seen this, you should watch this movie. It's great. There's no other movie like this, especially as a comic book movie, because I think the difference with this one and other comic book movies that have come out is it really embraced the comic bookness of it, while modern day comic book movies try and make it more realistic or believable for a modern day audience. This one, and Warren Beatty, he was the star and director in this movie. He just fully embraced how comic booky the material was, the original material was, down to the like cinematography, to the costumes, to the dialogue, everything. And so it turned out so cool, so stylized, and I really loved it. So yeah, let's watch a couple clips here, and then we can talk about it in reference to the movie adaptation. Oops. Tammy D says this one had a comic book feel too. It really did. It just celebrated is a word I would say of comic books. Send me a kiss by a wire. You guys are funny. Okay, so let's watch a couple clips. I found a couple clips online that I thought were awesome. Are we back? Oh my gosh. Whoops. Oh boy. That's not cool. I mean, well. We did it. We did it, guys. We got noticed by YouTube in a very negative way. I did it. I've never been struck before, and there we go. I am so sorry about that. That was awkward, but thank you. I very appreciate all of you guys for walking me through that, because I was like, what do I do? What do I do? So I guess awesome one when you said you guys are awesome. I would have like jumped off a cliff. So you said awesome one when or if you reload, just remove the clip. So you mean like once I'm done with this stream, I should edit that part out, right? Let me know. Otherwise, I won't know what to do. It's alive. We back. All right, you guys. And Comrade Sammy, typical Rocky. All right, fine, YouTube. I won't enjoy a clip of a movie that's amazing and promote it. I won't do that. So then so I got that clip off of a YouTube channel called Joe Blow Movie Clips. So then how do they play those clips? I guess, do they pay for copyright? Maybe they pay for copyright. How does that work? Okay, cool. I will do that. Dag nabbit YouTube. All right, let's get to the comic then. They can't strike me for a comic, right? I hope. But you guys get the idea. If you haven't seen Dick Tracy, I recommend trying to see it. I don't even know what streaming services show Dick Tracy these days. I haven't looked because I own the DVD, and that's actually a very hard DVD to find. I don't think they ever did a Blu-ray of Dick Tracy. They should, but I do have the DVD, and that's kind of one of my prized DVDs, which I'm like, this one's really hard to find. They didn't release that many copies, and it's such a beautiful, amazing movie. So yes, and Madonna was in it too, going back to somebody's earlier comment. All right, so we get the idea of the look and feel, but I think it's interesting because usually I would think that a comic book that is adapted into a movie and then back into a comic book is probably a bad idea. They did it recently with Batman, the Batman movie. I think they released a series called Batman 89, and it's based off of the original Batman Tim Burton movie. There's some cool things about it. I think the art's pretty good. Joe Quinones is the artist, and he's a great artist. I didn't like some of the choices they made with the story, at least on that first one, so it didn't hold my attention the whole time. But and then speaking of like being an iteration of an iteration of an iteration, I don't feel like it was weird that it went back into a comic, and I don't know, it's kind of a weird back and forth. But this one, I feel like totally like was right for the movie adaptation because so many of the like likenesses of each character was really important. And Kyle Baker, as I had mentioned in that King David video, King David review that I did with Marty, he's so good at capturing like photorealistic kind of likenesses and marrying that with cartooniness. And so that works for some crazy reason. That works for this adapting this movie, Dick Tracy. Lurk, dinner time. Oh, does it involve chicken? Awesome one. So yeah, here's this. It's great. Like Kyle Baker's using these great techniques of, sorry, moving here, of like, it looks like colored pencil here. And his colors are really poppy, primary colors. It's got these fun likenesses, but they're also like very cartoony poses. This one, I think this compilation is, I want to say it was maybe 4 graphic novels or like prestige format kind of books. They're thicker than regular graphic novels. I mean, regular issues. And then they compiled the whole thing, the True Hearts and Tommy Gunn's trilogy. Oh, trilogy. Maybe it was 3. That would make sense. But yeah, so some of the characters, like they have these dot eyes, these little coal black eyes, which is super cartoony. And then when he's drawing like Warren Beatty, he gets a lot more realistic there. That's great. This is his like Al Pacino caricature. Man, I love this style. Yeah, I remember too. Dick Tracy had a lot of hype. Everybody was saying it was like the next Batman, and for whatever reason, it didn't do. It was super successful. They had a great campaign for it. I remember seeing the silhouette of Dick Tracy's head like on advertisements, and yeah, this silhouette here. Oh yeah, this one here. I remember seeing that all over like billboard advertisements, and then the whole thing with his watch. It's fun colors. Kyle Baker too, his panel layouts are very simple. They're not trying to be overly complicated. Characters aren't like bursting out of the frame. He's not doing huge splash pages or anything. It's all pretty, classic, I'd say, as far as how he's laying this stuff out. It's great. Dick Tracy versus the Underworld. Book 2. Yeah, these come out in 1990. Walt Disney Company. This is definitely the styling and the artwork. Seems like Kyle Breaker was flying through this stuff. I don't know what his deadline was, but there's like a speed to it. And this is his Madonna. It's awesome. I love how the Dick Tracy characters. Well, now it's time to put some music. The Dick Tracy characters were like super stylized, like flat top and Mr. Mumbles, and whatever their characteristic was, it was reflected in their design. Tess Trueheart. Look at this guy's face. That is so simple. It's almost like emoji, this guy. Who's this character? I forgot what this character's name was. Like beady eyes or like this guy's the mole. Look at that face. Oh my gosh. That's a serious widow's peak right there. Yeah, it's almost like he was drawing this with like a pen, just kind of jamming it out really fast on like notebook paper. This is Prune Face. Like a super literal, but they're awesome. Mark says, already enjoying the daylight savings time. Sunshine late is always better. It is. Get to watch the sunsets now and not feeling like it gets dark so fast. Yeah, it's nice. I mean, the transition's not the greatest. Losing that hour is not fun, especially if you have to wake up early on Sundays. I have to wake up early on Sundays. That is not fun. But as you ease into it, I think that, yeah, it gets better. That's cool. Cool stuff. It's a long story. I don't remember if this, I know some of this, definitely I recognize some of this with the plot of the movie, but I don't know if it deviates a little bit and has its own side story. I love this character. There's actually a, yeah, I love this character. And that character ended up being Madonna's character too in the movie. It's great. Great Tommy gun fight. Most of these panels are like 6 to 9 panel pages. Yeah, this follows the movie. This must be totally the movie. He just rushed it at the end. He's like, I'm done. So there you go. Dick Tracy, the complete True Hearts and Tommy Guns trilogy. Came out in 1990. Originally came out in 1990, Walt Disney Company. Len Wein was the one who adapted the movie. Oh, that's right. Danny Elfman did the soundtrack on this. Same guy who did Batman. So, oh, there's one book I was going to pull out. I didn't talk about this book when I was sharing with Marty all the different smatterings of Kyle Baker's work. But this was another book he did called You Are Here. This one's really good. I almost like this one better than I Die at Midnight. This one was 1999, so a little bit farther off, or further in development of this. And I think he had more time on this style because you can see just like his rendering is a lot more sophisticated than the Dick Tracy book. But some fun art here. Oop, can't show that. That's okay. We had other people pop in. Maybe John saw the streaming got struck and he got turned off. Oh boy. So yeah, I've been really enjoying kind of rediscovering Kyle Baker's work, and in light of getting this, or in light of that stream with Marty, getting this Dick Tracy, and then kind of pulling out some old stuff that I had of his as well. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing currently. Not sure what he's working on currently. I feel like he should do more of these kind of one-shot, self-contained books every now and then, like once a year or something, or once every 2 years, and he'd be good. But all right, that was the unboxing. Dick Tracy, the movie adaptation. One thing I wanted to ask you guys about, I got some good feedback on the last video that I did, the one about Superman, the death of Superman. And I had a few people reach out to me and let me know that they liked how in-depth I went with that one. In that particular, I was focusing on one thing and just kind of going a little bit more in depth on it. So one thing I was thinking of doing was tweaking my Wednesday comics a little bit to work with that and see if I can kind of focus in more on a particular book that way. So let me know what you guys think about this idea. Mark's Music Obsession would be good if that guy Shanth would watch in support. Sean's always texting me and out of the blue at different hours of the day, and that guy's constantly supporting. So whether or not he can watch the stream or pop in the stream, he is constantly supporting me. But yeah, where is he? Maybe he's streaming and John's in that stream. Where are those guys? So the idea that I had was, I was thinking that for my Wednesday comics, I would shorten it a little bit and just possibly do it live. So I've been experimenting with two things. One was doing Wednesday comics live, and one was doing Wednesday comics like recorded, where I get time to like sit down and talk about each book more in depth. So I was thinking of combining those two, where on Wednesday I would go get my books, and if I didn't have enough books, it would be books that I would pull out of my own collection or books I'm reading currently, and then share those live and say, hey, these are maybe 3 books that I'm looking at, or these are 3 books I picked up, and then get a vote in the chat, like talk to the chat about which one of those books they would want me to do more in depth. So for example, say I did Transformers and Duke and Void Rivals one week, and said, these are the books I picked up. And then I asked the chat, which ones do you guys want to see an in-depth video on? And then you guys would say, oh, we want you to do Transformers. And then I'd go away and that evening or the next day or something, record a video that's a little bit more in depth, like the Depth of Superman one, maybe do some side sketches of like moments that I thought could be adjusted or tweaked or whatever, and then post that as a done video. So I don't know if that would be like my Wednesday Comics deep dive, or I haven't thought of a name for it, but that's something I'm planning on experimenting with and seeing if that works, because I like the idea of hearing back from you guys about what you would like to see. And then, but I also like still highlighting the books that I pick up on a weekly basis or that I'm reading on a weekly basis. So I don't want to get rid of that necessarily and just focus on going in deep dive in a book. But there's so many books out there, so it's hard to pick one, but it would be nice to get some interaction where I hear from the audience to say, yeah, we'd want to know more about that book. And then I can spend time doing that and edit that video and post it. So yeah, let me know. Let me know if you guys think that's a good idea. And if nobody has an opinion on that, I will do it anyway. And we'll see how it goes. It might bomb. It might turn into something totally different. But that's my thought. I'm planning on trying to do that this week, I think. I was trying to look. It all depends on what books are coming out and what books I'm reading. But at the very least, if I don't pick up anything on a Wednesday, I for sure have plenty of books that I can pull out and say, hey, I'm going to pick one of these that I'm going to review that evening. So let me see. What else was I going to talk about? I think that was it, right? I think that's it. Oh, I guess also part of that deep dive was really breaking down. I think the thing that resonated when some people, at least the feedback I heard, was kind of breaking down the components of why I liked a certain book. Not just, oh yeah, the art looks good or I like this story or whatever, but it's kind of saying like, hey, these are what I'm looking for. Or I've mentioned this before. I think what makes somebody pick up a comic book and spend the money on something, certain planets have to align for that to happen. And if one of them or two of them are slightly off, it's sometimes you won't. Whether that's something that's being crowdfunded or something that you're seeing on a comic book store rack. Usually, for me, it has to grab me in several different ways before I'll actually put money down, which is crazy to think. I mean, that's a total tightrope act for the creator to be able to like hit all those out of the park for somebody to actually put down like, $10 or $5 just to buy a book. Like that's a lot of work to reach your audience, but that's the name of the game. So some of the categories I thought which were really important, like when I'm looking at a book, are for sure the artwork has to speak to me. Like if it's not an art style I don't like, 97% chance I'm not picking up that book. I don't care how good the story is or the characters are. If I don't like the art style, I'm not picking it up. And maybe that's just me. Maybe that's because I'm an artist myself. Maybe whatever. Maybe I'm superficial. But yeah, the art really has to be engaging for me to pick it up. The other thing I was thinking of is like whatever the world it is that they're building or that is in the book, like that is something that has to speak to me. So I'm not really big on like horror comics that much. I guess world/genre is kind of how I'm bucketing it at. So like, yeah, I'm not super into horror comics, and there's some great ones out there with great artwork and stuff, but like that genre doesn't totally vibe with me. I'm not into like, horror themes. So it's a little bit harder for me to put down money to pick up a book that's about horror. One of those books that I reviewed recently on YouTube Shorts was Something is Killing the Children. I read the first volume graphic novel of that book, and the artwork's cool. It's got a cool style, and the execution is cool. The story is engaging, but that genre, like kids were being slaughtered, and it had kind of like a Stranger Things vibe to it, which I like the show, but for a comic, I was like, eh. And it took place in like here and now, like present day time in a small town, but it was just like kids getting slaughtered by this supernatural thing. So I wasn't totally into that, and it made me hesitate to pick up volume 2 on that one. So that's an example of like genre or world building not really connecting with me as a viewer or an audience. For sure, the characters and the characterization has to connect with me. And that's tied to art style, yes, character design, but specifically, like, do I like the characters? Do I connect with the characters? I had mentioned that I mentioned earlier in the stream before we got paused, I was watching Wonka with my daughter this weekend. So they introduced this new character in Wonka called Noodle, like this new character to the world of Wonka. And from my understanding, it felt like she was supposed to be that like entry character for the audience to relate to. So it's like, oh, I connect with her and I can understand what she's thinking, and that helps me like be pulled into the movie. But that particular, I don't know if it was the character. Well, I do know it was the character, the actress. Like she didn't draw me in at all. Like I didn't connect with her at all. She was not likable. The way she was written, her story wasn't likable. It was really like, felt like attacked in there. So immediately I was out, and like, can I relate to Wonka? Not really. I like him as a character, but can I relate to him and connect with him? No, because he's zany and he's cartoony. And so the second that I was out on that entry level character or entry point character, I fell asleep and I ended up not seeing that movie. So that was an example of the character not connecting with me. Someone says my pork schnitzel was a hit. Awesome. Nice. John was on Karis's stream in the afternoon. I kind of had a hunch because I think I remember him in Carrie's stream. I kind of remember him saying that one time when he came in that he had jumped off of her stream and come into the stream. So that's okay. It's fine. That's fine, John. I know where I stand. And then what was the final category? Oh, the final category was story. So there was art, there was like the world building, the concept, the genre, there was the characters, and then the story. So like, is this a really compelling story? So like, I love Batman. I love the world that Batman is in. I love the characters of Batman, but is the story, sometimes there's stories about Batman that I don't really connect with, and so I don't pick up that particular book. Similarly with with most of the mainstream comic characters these days, right? Like Spider-Man or X-Men or whatever. Like I love those characters. I love the worlds they're in, but sometimes the stories are just like, what is going on? Like I don't get this story at all. And so I won't pick up the book no matter how good the art is or how good the characters are. So yeah, it's a lot of plates you got to spin as a creator, and it's giving me some insight as I'm trying to create my own stuff and build my own stuff and whatever, eventually market my own stuff. It really gives me a lot of insight of like, okay, these are the kind of things that you have to keep in mind, and these are the kind of things you have to build so that you find your audience. Otherwise, they're on to the next thing. They're on to the next book. Awesome one says, Rocky, unlikable women are the in thing. Get with the times. I don't want to get too into that, but like, yeah, Wonka had the whole, let's be diverse and mix it up. And yeah, I don't think it helped the story at all. I'm all for people be seeing themselves on screen and feeling like they're represented. I'm all for that kind of stuff. But if you are working against the story, if you are working, are you're just cramming that in just for the sake of cramming that in, and there's not a good story point of changing your character from male to female, or white to black, or Asian to Hispanic, or whatever you want to do. If there's no reason other than you're just doing that to make sure you check all your boxes, it's not going to work. It never works, and it just turns off your audience. I know it does for me. I'm just like, ugh, I don't need to see this. I don't like being spoon-fed stuff like this. I just want to be engaged in the story, and I don't care if the main character is a female. But if she's boring, like you're saying, to your point, awesome one, if she's boring, I don't care how diverse she is. And yet he can't make it to Arky's stream. We're chopped liver, apparently. Nah. I'm going to blame your clover man for clover infesting our yard. Your clover man. What clover man? Your clover man for clover infesting our yard. Is this a St. Patrick's Day thing? Dune 2 did the unlikable woman as well. Okay, so which one did you see it? And which one was the unlikable woman for you? Was that the Zendaya's character or the mom? I'd love to know. I actually like them both. So, yes, of course, there's room for differing opinions. I'm not offended by that in any means. So I like them both. I really did like them both. But let me know which one was the unlikable woman for you. That's disappointing. Was so hoping it would be great. For Dune 2? Dune 2 was great. Maybe Awesome One didn't like it, but I love Dune 2. I really liked it. I was like, what? What are you talking about? I'm just being jerked around here. Yeah, I really like Dune 2. I saw a review, so I think it was Zendaya. Okay. I mean, if you don't like Zendaya, like if you didn't like her in any of the movies she's been, or any of the TV shows you've been in, she's pretty much Zendaya in Dune. She's great. I think she's great, but she does have, like, I think she fills that role just like any act, or not any, but some actors are hired to be the lead, and they're just like, they'll always be the lead character. They will always kind of fit that role. She kind of fits that, like, millennial, young, like, confident woman, a little snarky, like a little attitude, like playful, and like she'll always fill that role. That's kind of who she is. But I thought it was okay. Maybe I don't know enough about her character in the books to compare what she should be. But I don't feel like I felt like she had chemistry with Timothée Chalamet, and I felt like she held her own with, like, the dramatic moments. She wasn't just there to be the snarky side girl. Was she perfect for that role? No, but it didn't totally like ruin the movie for me. And there's so much about that movie that was so well done that, like, I didn't even see much flaws with her performance. So I would see it. Dune 2 was good, just the woman, not for some. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. I'm short on cash, so no movies. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's so expensive to watch movies these days. I think we watched it in a theater that was like, it wasn't IMAX, but it was something with an X in it, RPX or something, some sort of like high-tech theater, digital projection, blah, 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 with sound, and the seats rumbled or whatever. It was expensive. I think it was like $20+ a ticket. Gone are the days of like $5 movies. The person whom looks like a child despite age. Shamalanga-ding-dong. It's like, I'm with you, awesome one. Okay, got it. And then you throw a curveball, and I'm like, where are we? But it makes it so fun to talk with you. Yeah, Dune 1. I mean, the first Dune you can obviously see on streaming services if you have them. And then the second one, if you can scrape up a few dollars to see it in the theater, it's worth it. It's one of those movies the movies, because they're so expensive, I'm unfortunately not going to watch many like mid tier, smaller budget movies in the theater. I'll just wait till they get on streaming, which is unfortunate. But for big blockbuster movies, I'll make the time and effort to try and see those in the theater. And Dune is one of those. It's like you just have to be immersed in it, in that world. So, how do we get on the subject of that? Oh, we were just talking about the different buckets that you had to, or that I feel like you had to fill out. So, I think similarly with comic books and what appeals to you, there's certain check boxes, certain buckets that we all have. And so I think what I'm going to do with the more in-depth review of a particular book is try and highlight those buckets, and I don't know if I would use like a star system or a numbering system or something, but just highlight it a little bit more in depth of what I like about the book and why I pick it up or why I don't like it. And I think hopefully that will be interesting to you guys all. Yeah, so that's about all for what I'm going to change on, or what I'm thinking of trying out for my Wednesday comics. Did Dick get Tracy? You'll have to ask him. There's another thing that have you guys heard? Did you guys hear the news that the creator of Dragonball passed away, young age of 68? I actually never watched Dragonball, but I did recently picked up a compilation of one of his books. This is not an unboxing, but this is just kind of a quick share. Where am I? Yeah. And, I can zoom in a little bit more. I'm sure you guys have seen many a stream of people talking about this artist, a creator, Akira Toriyama. But yeah, he recently passed away, if you hadn't heard about it. And, which is super tragic. I picked up this book maybe about a year ago. And, it's really cool. So I just thought I would show a little bit of his work right here on this particular stream. I didn't know when else I would fit it in, but I kind of wanted to just do it just because he recently passed away. But he had such an awesome ability to draw like expressions and really appealing characters, but also tech. Like a lot of people talk about like his vehicles and tech. And I love his little like chibi vehicles. I love this format too. Someone says, I watched Dragon Ball, didn't like it, did like DB's Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, I've heard that too. I've seen a lot of people say like I mean, it's obvious he's had a huge influence on the anime market, manga market. But in particular, people say like we would not have the Super Mario Brothers if we did not have his work. Like what we know of like Super Mario Brothers and Luigi and the whole like running with his arms to the side and his like raccoon hat, all that kind of stuff is flavors from Akira Toriyama's work. Someone says, have you seen the Journey to the West movies? Are those the live action ones? I can't remember. I know there's quite a few. It's like there's lots of Journey to the West, and then Monkey King. All kind of are in this similar like bucket of these movies, but yeah, some of those are very good. There was a recent, I feel like there was a recent movie that came out about the Monkey King. I can't remember. Son Goku is Goku. But these are cool. These are cool little like digests. This is like a 3-in-1 digest that I found on Amazon, and it compiled 3 volumes of his work. And it's a nice like digest size. But I love it. But yeah, it's a shame. Shame that he died so young. I think he was in the middle of some unfinished projects too, from what I heard. So I've heard so many stories of Japanese comic artists like dying at the desk or like next to their desk or like in the middle of working on stuff. It's crazy. I feel like that industry, as much as they crank out stuff and put out so much content and it's at a high level, it seems like it's pretty brutal. Like the pace is unbelievable. Hey, did you ever, Comrade Sammy says, hey, did you ever check out those music artists I suggested for your videos? Oh, the, was it Fat Rat you had mentioned? I haven't. Should I? Is that a hint? I should probably, right? I'm getting tired of the music I'm doing. I have not checked those out yet, but I will. It's on my list of things to do. Awesome one says the live action Monkey Kings. Oh, Son Goku. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I haven't seen those. There was like speaking of plays, stage plays. Do you know the artist Jamie Hewlett? He did Gorillaz, the music video Gorillaz. He's an animator, designer. He originally did Tank Girl. That was his big kind of beginnings as an artist. And then went on to do Gorillaz. He did a Journey to the West. I have that. Let me pull it out. It'll be interesting. Here, I'm going to use my Dick Tracy bookmark. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to pull out that art book. You guys, wow, this is not gonna fit. Zoom out a little bit more. That's better. Can I zoom out even more? I think I can. Then you're gonna see my cluttered desk. What's that? That's pretty good. Okay, so Jamie Hewlett is this director, artist, creator that did Gorillaz and Tank Girl. And then this book came out, I want to say 6 years ago. It's basically like a retrospective of his work with interviews and stuff like that. When did this come out? It's work from the last 25 years. Where's the copyright? So 2016. I think it came out later than 2016, but around that time. And one of the things, I mean, there's amazing work in here. Some of his early work from Tank Girl, his comic work. And he just got better and better and better and better as he continued on. So yeah, this book is awesome. They have his comic book work here. Whoop, can't show that. Fun stuff, and you can see kind of where Gorillaz starts coming into the picture. And I don't know if you guys have seen Gorillaz, but it's amazing. Like the artwork and the innovation that they were doing with this property was amazing. One of the things he did after Gorillaz, though, I mean, he's still doing Gorillaz, but one of the things he did after was, here we go. This is what I was going to show you. Journey to the West. There you go. Have you seen this awesome one? So he did, and I think this was for a stage play, if I'm not mistaken. He did designs for. Let me read really quick. Stages of planning a 5-night residency for Demon. Oh no, okay, Matt. He was asked by the director. Oh, for a Chinese theater director, wanted to do Journey to the West to the stage, and so they hired him to do designs. So this is Jamie Hewlett's designs for Journey to the West. Are these not awesome? Like, look at that. So it's like you can feel the like guerrilla style to it, but he's also like adding a lot of the Chinese mythology, the fairy tale into it. Amazing, amazing stuff. And it's really dark too, like kind of creepy and horrific, but beautiful artwork. Mark's Music Session says, I remember the Tank Girl movie. It didn't leave a mark on me, good or bad. Don't really even remember it that much. Yeah, I didn't really like it. And same with me. It didn't totally like, speak of like a comic book movie, right? It didn't feel, hit any chord with me. But in that movie, they had animated sequences. And so I have a little connection to those animated sequences. Not that I worked on them, but the director on those animated sequences was a guy by the name of Mike Smith. And he worked in the Bay Area in San Francisco at an animation studio called Colossal Pictures. Colossal Pictures, they started off doing some film effects and then went full-blown like animation. So they did like commercials, and that's where Aeon Flux came out of Colossal Pictures. I want to say like Cow and Chicken, that show came out of Colossal Pictures. The creators that created those shows all came out of Colossal Pictures, Peter Chung. And so Mike Smith was a director at Colossal. He's one of their top directors, and he worked on, this is really dating me, but the Charles Barkley Nike ads. Do you guys ever remember those animated ads? I'm really hesitant to try and do a search for it on YouTube and play it, because then am I gonna get like copyright struck again? The basic painting we have similar in our wall when we visited South Korea. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. And Jamie Hewlett, he's a British artist, but I think he had some time where he spent in China when he was doing this work. Let me see if I can find that Charles Barkley. And if I can't play it, I'm just going to call it a night. If I get struck again, I'm going to call it a night. Let's see. Charles Barkley. It's so short too, so I wonder if
I am not a role model.
No, that's not it. That's a live action. Ah, this was it. Okay. Was this it? Yeah, this was it. Maybe I'll just play it without that sound. Maybe that'll be okay. Okay, 1 second. Mostly get struck with movies, TVs, or music. Probably not a commercial. Okay. Okay. I'm so hesitant now. Let me see. Let me bring this up and share it with you. I mean, it's crappy quality because this ad came out in the early 90s, so I think the quality that they have is not great. But yeah. I'm gonna buck the system. I'm gonna find the loophole. Unless said commercial has copyright music. I don't think so. It's 30 seconds. Well, I don't know. They got me pretty fast on that Dick Tracy. So maybe this should be okay. We'll see. Well, we're about to find out, guys. Okay, here we go. Whoa. Do you guys remember that ad? Have you ever seen that ad? It's really cool, really well done, really kind of crazy dynamics, the way it's drawn, very comic book style. And so that was Mike Smith. And Mike Smith, long winded explanation, but Mike Smith directed animated sequences in Tank Girl that were in the style of Jamie Hewlett. And those were the best part of that movie was those things. So yeah, I guess those are all the Journey to the West designs he did. But pretty cool, right? Really cool. He's such a talented artist. Yeah. See the arts. I do see the arts similar. Yeah, there's similar. Like Mike Smith crossed over with Jamie Hewlett, Peter Chung, an artist that I do know, and he was kind of he didn't mentor me directly, but just kind of he was in the studio at the same time I was, and he's a good friend of mine by the name of Robert Valley. I'm probably going to be talking about his work sometime in the near future because Robert Valley's also does comics. He worked on the Tron animated series, Tron Legacy, I think it was called, which was phenomenal. He did all the character designs in that. He produced a short film that was nominated for an Academy Award called Pear and Cigarettes, I believe it was, that he animated all by himself in Photoshop, which is not an animation program by any means. He did I'll show you guys one more thing. This is cool. Robert Valley did I don't know what it was for. They were like short films for DC. What was it for? Some shorts program that DC did like several years ago, and he did Wonder Woman. He did his version of Wonder Woman, and he draws women like amazing. But like they did a maquette based on his designs. This is really accurate to his like crazy proportions. So Robert Valley worked with Peter Chung on Aeon Flux. He worked with Peter Chung on like the Chronicles of Riddick, or the Riddick animated thing that he did. Robert Valley worked on Gorillas, a lot of the Gorillas stuff. So yeah, you can see how all their styles kind of interweave with one another. But Robert Valley is one of my favorites. He did I think Netflix released, what was that called? Like Death, Love, and Robots. Some like anthology series, animated series, where they had all these different creators work on stuff. And Robert Valley did some in that too. He directed a couple pieces in that too. So anyway, he's amazing. And like I said, I think I want to do some sort of stream or video series on his work because it's worth talking about. He's a comic book artist / director, animator. He's a good dude. He's a really amazing person, like so chill and laid back. And I feel like he's got like, people have always said like Robert has photographic memory, because we'd watch him like when he was referencing something. And at the time, it was before YouTube, we would watch videotapes for reference footage of whatever. There was some commercial he was working on at the time that I was in the studio with him, and it was like there was breakdancers in it, and so he would watch a video of live action video of somebody breakdancing. He'd watch it like 4 or 5 times, just sit there watching it. Then he'd hit pause, and then he'd start drawing and sketching, and then the next thing you know, he'd animate a whole sequence of like this breakdancer like rotating in space, and he was incredible. He is incredible. So so yeah, all those guys, all that to being said, like they all kind of connect with each other and have worked with each other, and they're all amazing. So that was a long-winded, weird connection, but thanks for bringing up Journey to the West. Awesome one. See what happens? This is kind of the fun of live streaming, where you don't know where the conversation will go. It also often happens when like Used to be when I was in college and I would go visit Shant or any friend and we'd just talk about art, and one conversation would lead to another and we'd pull out a book from the shelf and go, oh, check this out. Look at this. Like, look how exciting this is. So it's kind of what just happened. And I love it when it happens like that because you can't script that. So, yeah, wow. It's already been an hour and a half. My goodness. An hour and a half just talking about stuff. Awesome One says, did you and Shant have parachute pants and breakdance on cardboard? No comment. No, I did not have parachute pants and I did not breakdance on cardboard. But do I wish I could have? Maybe. That would have been fun. That would be amazing. Yep. Surprisingly, parachute pants have never made a comeback. So I don't know, but I have seen MC Hammer. He's from the Bay Area, by the way. MC Hammer he is from the Bay Area, so he'll show up at like sports events and various things. That guy's a Bay Area legend. Parachute pants are not lame. Breakdancing is not lame. It's good stuff. Cardboard. All right. Well, I think that is about it. That's all I got. Stay tuned. Like I said earlier, I will probably be trying out that new version of My Wednesday Comics this Wednesday. Hopefully it works out. The timing of everything works out, and no curveballs get thrown my way. But that's the plan. See how that works. Try it out a couple times. If it sticks, it sticks. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I do like the idea of going a little bit more in depth on one book and kind of dissecting why it is I like it. Let's see. You lame. I'm lame. Oh, okay. I'll take that. I was never I always wished I could dance like a break dancer, but was not meant to be. John, we miss thee. We do miss you, John. But we'll see you again next time. For sure, John will show up next time. All right. So I guess that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed that weird little journey around the Kyle Baker planet. What time slot for Wednesday? Oh, Mark's kind of already setting it up. So I'm guessing. So if what I'm thinking is going to happen, I have to go to the comic book store to get the books that I'm thinking of, and then bring it back. So it's going to be after. It's going to be in the afternoon sometime. I don't know exactly when, because I have some commitments that happen mid-afternoon, and so I kind of backtrack it so that I don't run into those. It's going to happen in the afternoon sometime, Mark. So if it works out, and this is something that I want to keep doing, then maybe I'll be able to schedule in more of a exact time. But for now, just gauge it's going to be after noon Pacific Standard Time sometime. Avina Zane, I'll have better conversation starters next. No, you were awesome, Comrade Sammy. I'm so thankful you showed up first. I'm so thankful that the conversation that you did bring. I'm thankful for Mark's music obsession. I'm thankful for Awesome One. I'm thankful for Comrade Sammy, and I'm thankful for Tammy D. All of you guys. We joke around, we laugh, we cringe, we hashtag Boomer Rocky, but at the end of the day, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate you guys showing up and kind of supporting what I'm doing here and giving me kind of good connection points and good conversation. It fuels the engine. If I was getting 0 viewers every time, I don't think I would continue doing this. But you'd be amazed at what 1 viewer, 2 viewers, 3 viewers will do, and how that kind of spurs you on to do it. So do not ever apologize for showing up. It means the world to me. It really does. So I appreciate it. And we'll continue building this. We'll keep doing cool stuff. And as this channel keeps growing, one thing I am grateful for is I don't see the followers dipping. That's nice. They're just slowly incrementally growing. I don't see like, oh, all of a sudden I lost 100 followers. So that's a good sign, right? But as we grow this thing, you guys could say you were here at the beginning when I was fumbling over myself and turning on the wrong camera and getting struck by YouTube midstream. You guys were there for all of it. So that should not be lost on you. And, thanks for sticking by. Thanks for sticking by. Awesome One says Rocky is dope. Thank you. Back to end time stuff. Yeah, let's get some cheery end time stuff going in there. Ciao. God bless y'all. I'm glad I can be here to cheer you on. I appreciate it. All right. Take it easy, everybody. I'll see you soon. Most likely Wednesday. All right. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh.